Hey, what's up, my friends? It is your boy Tommy Toy Travels, and I'm here back again with another WWE Elite Wrestling toy review. Now, I want to say before I start out reviewing Rhyno, Warlord, and Stephanie McMahon, I have to point out some things because I realized the last time I did a review, the last video I made where I reviewed John Cena, Baron Corbin, and Shane O'Mac, I was a bit unprofessional and I didn't actually go online and look up what their attires actually looked like, and I want to note that I did find some inaccuracies in it, and I think it officially makes these figures trash. Like Shane McMahon right there had a WrestleMania logo and literally unsellable without that little logo on there. So this figure is now worst figure ever. And as my good buddy in the comments let me know, John Cena from SummerSlam was actually wearing blue pants, literally unpurchasable. So I think that makes this set the worst set ever, and Mattel should just give us these figures for free, wouldn't you say? Because no one's gonna buy it. Hint, hint, hint. Give me some free toys. All right, so let's do this. Let's start out with Rhyno, because yet again I found some inaccuracies with this guy, but will anyone actually care? I don't know. We'll see. So this is him in the box. Here's the back of the box showing a picture of him. All this information. The attire is from Backlash. I think that's when they won the championship, because they were doing some funny little segments, and then they won the championships, and then they went into obscurity forever. So I'm going to say what I bet a lot of people think about this figure release is that it looks awful. They did a lot of new tooling or retooling. This might be a new torso, old torso, but those little arms look absolutely terrible. They're hidden much better in the packaging, but once you take it out, he looks terrible with those arms. That's not how the human anatomy works, and it just does not look good. Those are so big. Like, he does have big arms and stuff like that. You can see if you ever see him wrestle, but it's not like this, and I'm very disappointed with that. Another thing that you might be disappointed in is look at this attire. It's very blue. But if you were to actually go back to the Backlash match, you'd see that he was wearing a rainbow-colored attire. So I don't know if they were just a bit stingy with their budget, or if this is an actual attire from another event. I'm not that deep of a WWE historian because I am a fake WWE fan. I think the head does have a nice likeness to him, though, and that's one of the most successful parts about the body. But overall, I think that this figure looks awfully awful, and that it's a shame. What a shame, right, guys? What a shame. Look at those arms. You know, I talk about Kevin Owens' huge arms, but these are like giant. Like, if you pose them like that, yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. But if you ever want to pose it at his side, it just looks pretty bad. And yeah, our shoulders aren't just literal cylinder balls hanging on our arms, right, guys? We all know that shoulders actually go in. Like, look at what a shoulder should look like, and that's not it. Like, there's finesse in the way they make the other figures, you know? Like, it goes into the chest area, but this, it's like they taped that whole arm onto his torso, and I don't like it, man. I don't like it one bit. But what I do like a lot of bits is the included WWE Smackdown Men's Tag Team World Heavyweight Championship Tag Belt. And the silver is bright and shiny. The blue looks very accurate. There is a sculpted texture on the plastic to make it feel like it is pleather, kind of. It gives it that look, and I think that this is the real highlight of this release. Sure, some people might be excited to get a Rhyno figure, but I think Mattel, I don't think they were actually thinking correctly when they put this together. It's just like a hodgepodge of gross stuff. It's kind of loose. It's kind of paint flaws and stuff like that. I don't know. I think that this was a missed opportunity, and poor Rhyno, you know, he's a big guy, but he just looks like a kind of normal-sized guy that they threw giant arms on. It's a weird figure, and I'm not liking it. But let's move on to something I will like. That's Warlord. And talk about people leaving my video faster than the speed of light is by starting off with Rhyno. Yeah, I probably should have started out with someone different, but whatever. I bet most people came for Rhyno, but hopefully y'all stay to see the rest of these figures and the Build-A-Diorama. Ugh. Take him out of the carbonite freezing chamber! Yo, so here's the deal. I literally know nothing about this guy, Mr. Warlord, but I am absolutely in love with the look of him, the look of this figure. It comes with like this trident, but unfortunately it's a little bent from the packaging. Yeah, that's always unfortunate when the plastic molds to the packaging. Never cool. We also see that issue a lot with the legs, but I guess the trident isn't as bad as a bent leg. The detailing on this guy, it's a lot of just decal work, nothing really sculpted, unless you want to talk about his belt there. That is removable, so you can take off his belt, you can take off his Proto-Man mask thing, and you can take off his chest plate or whatever, and then just get a dude who looks less cartoony than I'd imagine. But what I love about this guy is he looks straight out of a comic book. This is a figure that could work with your Marvel Legends. This could work with your DC icons. This could work with anything pretty much. Yeah, it looks like a wrestler, but throw this stuff back on and then he looks like some crazy maniac dude. I really don't have much to say about this guy because I don't know much. I don't really know enough to critique it. That's why I don't usually talk about the old school guys, but I want to let you know for anyone new school, this is definitely a figure that will really brighten up your collection, even though it's not really like bright colors or anything. It's just different and it'll stick out like a sore thumb. That sounds like it's bad, and it's a really different look than any other wrestler I've seen before, and maybe it'll end up shelf warming, but I hope not, because this is a cool figure. Hopefully everyone that wants it can get it. It's very simple, but it looks straight out of the 80s, and I love that. I love his half face mask. It's like whoever came up with the idea, the design for this guy definitely has, I don't know what they were thinking, but they were thinking something right, because this is awesome. Get him with a Waluigi or Wario with all his W's in the detail and stuff, and that would be great. I love this figure, and I hope you do too. Now, I don't think it's as amazing as the Brutus the Barber Beefcake was, but I still think that it's a very good figure for a flashback because it's cool enough for those that don't know who it is to be interested to pick him up. Also, I want to note for any of you that know who this is in the comments, how's that face scan? Does it look like him? Sculpt? Do you think they scanned it or do you think they sculpted it? Alrighty, let's move on to the final figure in this review, Mrs. Stephanie McMahon, the Katy Perry fan. Here is the back. It says WrestleMania 32, April 3rd, 2016, with her Triple H attire when she entered with him, I think. This is not when she battled Brie Mode in one of the greatest wrestling matches of all freaking time. That was a SummerSlam. Oh, that was her last time she wrestled, and if that's her last time ever, what an opponent, am I right? So look at this amazing Performance Senior. This is amazing. Alright, I was just playing around. I put it in wrong, but this is like a performance center type diorama, and you hear me every time. I literally hate these Build-A-Diorama because it's not a diorama. It's a backdrop. Call it what it is, Mattel. Call it what it is. It's like me calling this a doll. It's not a doll. It doesn't smell like a cookie. It doesn't taste like a cookie. Therefore, it's not a cookie. Therefore, it's not a diorama. I guess it's kind of cool because it's the performance center backdrop, but I think it's a bit too busy on the visuals. I don't know. I just hate this stuff. And why would you have a performance center backdrop for someone like Warlord who wasn't even there from the performance center time? What the heck, Mattel? I don't get it. I don't like it. I think it's a waste, and it's a dumb gimmick, and I don't think anyone's actually buying the figures, the whole set, to build the backdrop. Stupid. You know, like, build a figure makes sense. You get a bonus figure in the set, but build a backdrop? You think people are screaming and going, oh my gosh, I need to build this diorama that's not even 3D. Ooh, Mommy, Daddy, let me buy all the toys so I can build it. No, I literally think nobody cares. Alright, so here is the mask. You see that little handle for her. No paint detail, unfortunate. But we do get the paint detail on that mask. But other than that, it's not much. And it's always unfortunate when they actually show us what we get compared to what it looks like on the box. And it's like, oh, if they did a little dry brushing, a little wash in there, it would have really made that look cool, but oh well. And here is Stephanie McMahon. This is a bunch of new sculpting for this body. A lot of cool sculpting for this body, let me say. Let's zoom in so you can check that out. Wowzers, but because it's so new sculpting, these joints aren't as tight as they could be. They are very loose, and I think they're using the new rubber plastic for a lot of these parts, which is surprising, super surprising. Like these figures is that new rubber plastic like you get with these jackets, and I don't know how I feel about that. I'm very concerned about the durability of that stuff in the future, but I do appreciate the new hand, and there is no new articulation, although they seem to be. This is definitely, I'm almost 100% sure, a new hand sculpt. That it definitely seems to be, but a lot. All right, the legs are the old style plastic, but these hands are definitely the new style plastic, rubbery plastic, and the rest is old school style. Sorry about that. I was a little concerned at the beginning. She does have some painted detail on the attire. The face, I think from certain angles, looks quite good, but from other angles it just does not work for me. But if you get to the sweet spot of the angle, I think it's really successful. What is wrong with it? Maybe again it's the lack of makeup, or just overall just paint issues, just sculpting maybe. I don't know what it is, but it's not 100% there for me. And again, the tone of the face does not match the tone of the neck. The hair is beautifully sculpted. They do a great job with the hair, so no worries there. And you do have some painted detail of the silver all over the place. Articulation, I'm not feeling any issues with it. It's all nice and stuff, the articulation. So if you want is some nice articulation, that's what you get with this figure. She comes with this jacket, looks very much like Becky Lynch's jacket, but it's not, because it has the Triple H logo on the back. Sculpted detail, not a decal on there. So I don't think they're gonna be reusing this jacket. Let's see her wearing it. I want to note, while off camera putting on the jacket, her head fell off, which is extremely rare in this day and age with Mattel figures, so maybe watch out for that. But it just does pop right back on. But it makes me wonder, is this a precursor to head swapping? Because Mattel heads don't pop on and off as easily as these are. What about like Rhyno? Does his head pop on and off? Nope. What about Warlord? Nope. But for some reason, Stephanie McMahon's head pops off just like it's a Marvel Legends or something. So fingers crossed, that is a little teaser, as she can hold the mask in her hand, but unfortunately because of the jacket she can't lift it up, which is a problem with the jacket. So she always has to hold it down by her thigh. So upsetting, but here she is wearing the jacket zoomed out. I think it looks nice, maybe a little oversized. Do you think she should have been sculpted wearing the jacket, or do you like it better as an accessory? That's an interesting point, Tommy. Great point you just made. Maybe some people in the comments will talk about that. And basically, this review's done now. I think this Stephanie McMahon's cool. I think Warlord is very fun. And I think Rhyno is super disappointing, but overall, I think So yeah, overall, I think that these three are not as successful as the previous three I showed you. I do think Warlord is the best out of these three, and then Rhyno definitely in the last place, because he is a big disappointment. Especially the belt's the coolest part, but those arms, I just can't get past them. So overall, good figures, I guess. But really, I was super hyped for this set, but these three figures kind of like bring that hype level down to the level they should have been at, because unlike Elite 49, which I think was much more solid than this, Elite 50 definitely has some disappointments. So I'm sorry to rain on your parade, guys, but maybe Elite 51 will be as dope swag as ever, and will dab till the night never ends. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hey, if you enjoyed it, give a like, and I'm sorry if I ripped apart your favorite wrestling figures of all time, but hey, that's showbiz, baby.